Hello everyone, and welcome back to the pegboard toy. In the last episode, we made the peg, the square and the round peg, the pegboard, and now we're going to make an assembly of those three parts. This is where we actually start to see where we can actually move the parts and see how they interact with each other. So let's go ahead and make a new file. Now in this case, we're not going to make a part this time, we're actually going to make an assembly. An assembly is a little bit different, so we'll click on that. And in an assembly file, there's a few new things that we have to do. Instead of placing sketches and extruding, this time we'll be placing parts and constraining them. So the first thing you need to do is go to Place, and then we'll have to find our parts. So in your documents, make sure you go to your DM folder, and we want our pegboard toy. And we can go ahead and select all three of these. You can do them one at a time if you'd like, but I'm going to go ahead and select all three of them. I'm going to click Open. Now when you do this, if you zoom out, you've got your three parts that are following your mouse around. All you have to do is click once. It'll place those parts, and then you can click Escape to get rid of it. You don't want to keep clicking, otherwise you'll get more and more parts. So these parts we can kind of move around, and we can put them wherever we want, and then we'll be good. So the next part is to, we're going to constrain these parts. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is ground this part right here. This way, this part does not move anywhere. It's going to be grounded. So go ahead and right click it, and we're going to go down to where it says grounded. So click on grounded. Now if we click on that, should click on it and then go to grounded. Now if I click and drag it, it won't go anywhere. I think I accidentally clicked and grounded this one, so I'll unclick that one. Now I can freely move these two, but we can't move this one, and that's the way that we want it. Alright, so next, we'll go up to this constrain panel, click on constraints, and we've got a few different constraints here. We've got the mate constraint, which can take two sides of something and smack them together, like so. So we could do that. We can also flush, and what flush does, it does the same thing, except if we click constrain and do flush, it'll put them side by side so that they're parallel. So flush is really helpful as well. For the angle constraint, you can usually set some sort of an angle, like we could put in 50 degrees, and it will constrain that to a 50-degree angle. We could also do tangent. Tangent is really helpful if you're constraining a flat surface to a rounded surface so that they touch on one point. Insert is very helpful if we're inserting a rounded part into a hole, like so. Right? And then symmetry, you could use that to make lines of symmetry to make the same thing look the same way on both sides. So those are all very helpful. But all we're going to do today is we're going to constrain, we're going to leave it at mate on this first solution right here. We're going to mate one side of the rectangle to one side of the inside of the rectangular hole. So click on that. Now it looks kind of funny right now, but that's okay. Just click apply. We'll constrain it again, this top part of this rectangle, and we're going to find the inside of this hole. We want it to be on the opposite side that we just clicked. So click on that. It'll right side itself. We'll go ahead and click apply, and then we should be good with that. So now we can't move the green part, but we can move this peg up and down. That way it's constrained. It's not going to move anywhere else except up and down, and that's what we want. Alright, the circle is going to be a little bit easier. We're going to constrain the circle again with a mate. We're going to mate the round part of the peg to the round part of the inside. So they're going to share the same axis. So the axis is this little red line right here and this blue line in this part. But we're going to click on the inside here. So it's going to put those two axes together. That way we can move it left and right. We can move it up and down, but it won't move sideways or at an angle. So that's what we want. All right. So that is constraining in an assembly. We're going to create another part in the next episode, but I just wanted to show you how the constraints kind of worked and how to make those work for a pegboard toy. All right. So we're going to go ahead and end this episode, and we will continue on the next part in a bit.